All right, happy Monday, happy Monday. Hope everybody had a good and prosperous weekend. All right, so first we want to give our condolences to the family of one Angela Laverne Brown, also known as Angie Stone, and also because of being involved in a car accident myself, it's definitely hits closer to home with it. Like I said, we want to give condolences to our family, and that's why even if and that's what I want people to do also too. Besides the typical like, subscribe, and comment, make sure you check out our Instagram page, which is Cartender1, spelled with a K, and that's where you'll see the commercial for the actual commentary I give. Because what happens is that, of course, YouTube doesn't allow you to use anything other than your own original music or music that is licensed to you. So that's why on Instagram, because you could just use whatever song is anyone's song. That's why I choose to do the commercial or the actual lead in on the Instagram page, once again, which is Cartender with a K, like bartender, but Cartender1. All right, so really quick, here we go. The song Brother, Black Brother. I know it came out years ago, maybe over 20 years ago. I'm not sure. But if you get a chance, check out the video. The video is really cool. Has a lot of pictures of a lot of great men, especially black men. Also, I think Will Smith and maybe Tyrese, a couple of different guys make cameos in the video. So it's a really dope video. But what I wanted to talk about as far as that's concerned is the plight of the brother or our brothers. And, one big thing I was telling a friend of mine, my buddy, a couple guys, Mike and a couple other buddies, I was talking about, because, just like anybody else, a lot of people, I watch The Breakfast Club. So The Breakfast Club also strikes you, so you can't, use any of their content as far as video wise. But they had on there Jim Jones. And like Jim Jones, of course, Ballin', was a #2 song in the country at one point. And, he did a lot as far as with Cam and Joel's and Freaky with Dipset, which was cool. They made really cool music. Of course, it's, close to 20 years ago when they first started, a little more than 20 years ago, when they had signed to Rockefeller and really blew. Although I did like Cam as an artist years ago. When he first started out, one of his first songs was Let Me Know, with I think the Monday Night Football beat. But the one thing I wanted to point out, and we don't want to disparage anybody because we try to keep it positive and keep it moving, but there's still certain things that we have to point out. And also too, hopefully that because entertainers are going to be entertainers, right? They live in a totally different world than we live in. Even if they try to come off, or if they are as street as can be, they still have made a lot more money on average than a lot of us. They've had way more visibility than any of us, right? But that still doesn't make them exempt from when they get on huge platforms or huge airways to give good information, especially to the younger people. Because what happens a lot of times, no matter how gangster or however, and I'm not questioning their hood credibility at all, but the thing is that a lot of times, these same people don't want their kids to grow up like them, and that's understandable. Who wants their kids growing up like that? But let me get to what I'm talking about. So he says on there, and I said to a couple of buddies, I said, now I'm not in any fraternity, any organization, anything like that, right? But or a gang or ever a part of a gang or anything. But he says on there, yeah, because they talked about the popularization of gangs. So he says on there, being affiliated in a gang, it's basically the same as like a fraternity, a sorority, anything like that. And I stopped and I rewound it again. I said, I know he didn't just say that. I know he didn't just say that because, I believe Dr. Martin Luther King was in a fraternity, a Black Greek fraternity. I believe Jesse Jackson was in a Black Greek fraternity. There's a whole host of other people. You can just, look it up, notable blacks in fraternities or sororities, because of course the sororities are for the ladies. And when he said that, being as though I know DJ Envy went to Hampton, which is a HBCU, and I don't think Charlemagne went to school, but still, just he's very aware. He has the Black Network, Information Network, or whatever, and the fact that no one challenged what he said, as far as and I get it, they're up there with him. It's politics with them, and they may not want to come off as being combative or confrontational to an appearing confrontational person in Jim Jones, because from what we've seen, we know that he can get ramped up or whatever. But thinking to myself, like, wow, man, Jim just compared gangs to fraternities and sororities. Now, I'm sure if he goes and expands it out, maybe he was just trying to say, hey, look, it's just a group of guys. And he did elaborate on it and say, well, it's just a group of guys, they kind of helped me out in tough times and everything. So, I get it. And that's also what I want to talk about, as far as there definitely becomes a contradiction. Because I know even me, I grew up listening to NWA, straight out of Compton, Tough Crew, Schoolie D, even Beans, a lot of guys that are considered, heavy street guys, and guys that don't talk about subject matter that's very friendly or radio friendly, anything like that. But the one thing I will say is that as I've gotten older, and as these people have also gotten older, I just think that at a certain point, and I don't want to put an age on it, because everybody matures at different levels and different times and everything. But I will say that at around 35, 40 years old, I just wish that with a lot of people, the messaging would be different, right? The messaging would be different, because, I was looking some stuff up, and I had pretty much known this for years. But according to blackmenshealth.com, the leading cause of deaths among African American males is homicide. It's homicide. And think about 87% of those times it's by homicide by gun or firearm. And, considering that a lot of us have grown up or come from, I don't even know if I want to call it impoverished neighborhoods, but maybe neighborhoods that don't have certain resources. Most of us know that to be true. We just may not know it's at such an alarming level. So although Jim Jones could have said, what he wants to say, but, it would have been more preferable if he would have said, hey, listen, this is the route I chose, but I don't want any of you other guys to choose that route if you have the opportunity to do it, as opposed to comparing it to a fraternity or a sorority. All right. And I think that a lot of times, we have to, and we've been accepting of it, even with Snoop. I think they asked Snoop not to crip walk on stage or whatever. He did it anyway. Even in the last Super Bowl, with Serena, she's in blue, crip walking. And I know a lot of us, look at it, because just from the immediacy of it, and say, oh, yo, she killing it up there. You know what I'm saying? And, that's definitely one part of it. So I don't want to stray away like, because I've gotten older, I don't understand the Black community and some of the things that we like and some of the things that we cherish. But, I just, as a man of this age, like to try to say, hey, listen, once we give, and I gave those two examples or three examples in Snoop or Jim Jones, Snoop, and Serena, is because they're all over 40 years old. I think some of them may even be over 45 years old. I think maybe Snoop is over 50 years old. And, I just think that, and I get it, because some people want to say, hey, look, what are you trying to hold an entertainer responsible for? What are you trying to do that? Well, I'll give you a free, and I've had this conversation with people also. The reason why I tend to hold entertainers somewhat accountable, especially when, they're Black, they look like me, is because, well, two things. Firstly, I typically don't see other white entertainers promoting violence amongst the group. I don't hear about them talking about, hey, look, set up a boxing match, or when I see you, it's on site, or when I, stuff that I think that, growing up in a predominantly Black neighborhood, or all black neighborhood. As a kid, maybe 15 years old, yeah, pull up, all that other kind of stuff at, 15, 16, 17 years old. But once you get to the point of these larger numbers where, you've accomplished things, and that's where it kind of hurts, and where I think the disconnect between celebrity and regular black people that still have to live and work and deal with younger kids, and it's not their responsibility to deal with the younger kids. It's all of our responsibility collectively. Moms, dad, people, anybody in the community. But our biggest in the community can't show that, hey, doing this is okay. Crip walking in front of millions of people is okay. And, we can still respect the gangs. Like I said, I never had to grow up in a blood or Crip neighborhood. So I can't speak on that, and I'm not going to speak on that. But because I'm leaving it with the entertainers, once you get to this platform, it's up to you to show, in my estimation, something a little better. Because, a lot of the platforms obviously won't bleep out some of the stuff regarding it. And you do have a lot of former gang members out there denouncing it and talking like, they're not with that anymore and all of that other kind of stuff. And that's to be commended. But, on too many occasions, in my estimation, we have people that are 40 and up in the black community that talk way, and glorify way too much of things that they may have done, 20, 15 years ago, if they're not still active today. All right. So that's the one thing. The second thing is that, and the reason because media and putting out certain things is huge, is because I remember growing up, and I think the Cosby Show came out, 83, 84? The Cosby Show. Very, very influential show. Because, I had never seen that before. And I think most people have not seen that before in most households where, and I've lived in a household with two professional people at a time, but in a household where you have a lawyer as a mother and a doctor as a dad, right? And all of these other cool experiences. And they tackled real life stuff on there. But what I'm saying is that that's a rarity for most black households. But you know what Bill Cosby was able to do? He was able to make that rarity seem like regularity, if that's a word, to a lot of black people who needed something to hope and look up to. And you look around and you think about it, because I've also had these conversations, in the community now, what do a lot of younger black people have to look up to? What do they have to look up to? Where are the Cosby shows at? Where are the different worlds? Which made me want to go to an HBCU. And for those people who may be a little younger, Different World was about them living on a black college campus. I'm assuming down south somewhere. But so where are these things at? So, I know a lot of time we spend talking about Trump, and we'll get into him later on this week, and just different things like that. But where are the media outlets that show anything positive about black brothers? I think on BET they got something called Sisters, but I think they just do a lot of fighting and running around. I don't know. I only watched a few episodes, but I'm just saying, where is the positive platform? Where is the positive media that highlights good black men and also good, healthy? And what I mean by healthy, I'm not saying relationships where people don't argue, because everyone argues and everyone has a slight tinge of dysfunction at least. But where are these outlets for that type of entertainment, where you see black people getting together and it's not, hey, look, yo, you know what I mean? Say something else, I'm gonna knock your head off. All right, you know what I mean? You talking crazy like that, pull up. And, we don't curse over here. So, just in case, you listen in the car with your kid or somebody else, yeah, we don't use any curse words, no N words, no none of that. Now, in my personal life, do I use it? Yeah, sometimes. But the thing is that, when we present to the public, when we present out into the world, we need to present as our best foot forward. As far as the way we carry ourselves, the way and I know some people call it code switching. No, I call it talking like you would talk and have respect, hopefully, around your mother and your grandmother. You know what I'm saying? So, if you're one of those kind of people that curses around your mom and curses around your grandmother, stuff like that, well, I can't dig that. I don't understand that. But, everybody's different, right? But back to what I was saying. So what Bill Cosby did, what a lot of other people did for that time is that raised a generation of people and gave people hope, gave people the thought that, hey, look, I don't have to show myself fighting all the time. I don't have to show myself showing off or women showing off their butt all the time. You get what I'm saying? Or just doing stuff that doesn't show the best part of what the African American experience should be. And are we all guilty of it? Of course we are. But what I'm saying is that when you choose to become a disseminator of information, when you choose to try to talk to people or to try to encourage people, because, of course, no one person can do it. It takes a lot of people to do it. But when you decide to do it, even for my friends that smoke weed and everything, you don't have to be on the camera smoking weed. I mean, it's your own deal, but you don't have to do that. Because, the way I got to start looking at life and the way I do look at life is that, if you got your own kids or if you have other people, that are younger, way younger, and even people that are around your age range, people always need to look up to somebody or have somebody to look up and say, hey, look, I know that this person isn't perfect, but I also know that this person is trying their best to put their best foot forward, because that's a reflection of me. No matter what mother, no matter what father you came from, that's a reflection of me. And in closing, the reason why, I said, because I know that there are a lot of good brothers out here. And that's why even last week we talked a little about, some of the guys that are going through it, as far as, because I know it's income tax time. So I know a lot of people don't bust up those income tax checks, ladies. So hopefully, if a guy is a good guy or whatever guy, help him out. You know what I'm saying? Say, hey, look, hey, dog, here's $500. Here's $1,000. Go get yourself a pair of forces or something. Get a good dinner. Even if you're not with him anymore, as long as he's being a good father, take care of the brothers. Take care of the brothers. Like Angie Stone said, you know what I'm saying? We got all kinds of brothers. Take care of them. Because back in 2022, the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, did, and that's where this data comes from, said that back in 2022, there were of black males, okay, or I'm just going to say black victims. I don't know if it's male, it's probably also female, women involved also. In 2022, there were 13,446 homicides. 13,446 homicides. And that's one of the reasons why we got to do better. And I think that we will. So, like I said, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. When you get a chance, go check out the little, I'll call it a prelude to the actual episode. So until we meet tomorrow, enjoy. Have a good day.